H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.
What are the framework today that we are going to discuss is which is related to automation. Okay, and if you remember, we were discussing about JUnit, TestNG. These are also frameworks, but these are the frameworks with respect to Java language. Okay, these are the frameworks with respect to Java language, and whatever the framework that today we are going to discuss is related to automation. Okay, both are different. These two are different. The framework, I mean, the concept is same. I mean, the word framework is same, but the approach are different. These two are called as the Java frameworks, and this whatever the framework that today we are going to discuss is which is related to automation. Okay, the concept today we are going to discuss is it's generic. You can apply the same concept in other tools too. Okay, so here what is meant by framework? Arranging the automation artifacts in a logical order. Okay, here what is meant by automation framework means arranging the automation artifacts in a logical order. Why we have to arrange them in a logical order? Yep. Why? The other way is like uses of frameworks, mainly reusability. If you start arrange the automation artifacts in a logical order, basically you will get the reusability. Okay, and then the structure. Okay, it will come and whenever new person comes into a team, it will be easy for them for us to give an overall idea. Okay, and one more is regression. So reusability and not exactly regression for a new team member. Okay, so mainly we go for automation for the reusability of the artifacts. And however, what is meant by automation artifacts over here? What is meant by automation artifacts? Yes, that's correct. Functions. Okay, yeah, that's correct. I can see good guesses. Yes, our scripts. Okay, and if you read Excel read was a kind of a function library. If you remember, we were using Excel read as a function library. We were using this particular Excel read anywhere we want. Okay, this is a kind of a function library. And we'll probably will have this jar files. We are making use of the jar files. Okay, test data. If you remember, we kept the test data in the Excel files. Okay, so these are the different kinds of automation artifacts. Okay, so we have scripts, we have function library, we have jar files, we have test data. Say if you don't manage them properly, it is going to be a mess up. And whenever a new team member comes into the team, whenever a new person joins the team, we're not sure how we have we cannot explain for the new member, this is how we are organizing our artifacts. Okay, so if we go for a framework where we'll properly organize our artifacts, like we will say that you have to keep the functional libraries over here, you have to keep the scripts over here, you have to keep the jar files over here. So there will be a specified location. So if you don't have that kind of framework, what will happen? We'll keep jar files maybe in C drive. Okay, maybe tested in D drive, like this. We will not have proper structure. Okay, so that is where we generally go for automation frameworks. And moreover, here we have different types of frameworks. Data driven, keyword, hybrid. Of course, there are sometimes you can come across modular frameworks. Okay, a data driven framework, keyword framework, modular framework, hybrid framework. So here in our class we are going to discuss hybrid. Data driven means, if you remember, we were created a parameterized script where we were executing the scripts with multiple sets of values, right? Here in our framework here, that's part of parameterization. Okay, here I'm talking about this multiple values. If you remember, we were created a script, where we wrote the logic and we kept in a for loop here. I mean, we were trying to execute with multiple sets of value. This kind of scripts will be called as data driven scripts, and in a framework, say in an application, for example, say you take one application, for example, say you take facebook.com here. Say you have 5 scenarios over here. Okay, say on this facebook.com, say we have 5 scenarios. Okay, say whenever we want to automate this facebook.com, okay, for 5 scenarios, okay, we will not sure for all I mean, if you say data driven framework, say if you say that you are using data driven framework and facebook.com, and say you have 5 scenarios, so the meaning of this data driven framework means here we have 5 scenarios, each and every scenario will be like this. I mean, each and every scenario is driven by the only data. Here, if you observe here, we wrote a for loop, and this script was driven by the data. Driven by the data in the sense, if you have 10 rows of data, it is going to execute with 10 rows of data, with the 10 rows of data over here. Okay. So when you say data driven framework, okay, when you say data driven framework, the meaning of this one, whatever the scenario, say if you say data driven framework on facebook.com, okay, and as we have 5 scenarios over here, say each and every scenario will be like a data driven. I mean, just now we were showing, right, it should be like a data driven. I mean, when we say data driven framework means, you are saying that whatever the scenarios that you have in our application, all those scenarios are data driven approach. This one. Okay. In general, in reality, that is not possible, right? I mean, if you have 5 scenarios, there is no requirement to go over data driven approach for all the 5 scripts, right? I mean, we don't need to execute with multiple sets of values for all the 5 scenarios. If you have 10 scenarios, we will not go for all the 10 scenarios. We will not go with the data driven approach, right? So that is the reason, whenever you come across any interview, what is the framework that you are using? Okay, just simply say hybrid framework. Okay, say even if I take my I used to take the interviews. If I take the interview, okay, if any person says a data driven, keyword driven, that actually gives a kind of negative impression. Okay, so preferable to say hybrid framework, because in any application you don't have a pure data driven scripts, you will not have a pure keyword. Okay, you will not have a pure modular. So that's the reason just say hybrid framework, because in any application it will be kind of combination. You may have some set of scenarios on data driven, and you may have scripts by creating keywords. Okay, so whenever you come across any interview, what is the framework that you are using in your automation? Try to answer as hybrid framework. Don't say data driven or keyword, which gives a bit negative impression. Okay, why? Because in any application you will not have pure data driven scripts, you will not have pure keyword scripts. Well, generally will have a combination. Okay, so data driven scripts means it's like executing multiple sets of data. Keyword, keyword is nothing but it's like a, in general, function names, or here in Java we call it as method names. I mean, our functionality will be breakdown, and for each functionality we will give a name. So for it's like a login, logout. Okay, like create order. Like this, we'll have method names. If you remember, I hope we have discussed as part of this test engine and JUnit also. Where is this? Look here. Login, logout, book flight. Here modify order, delete order. Now here I call these are the what we say, methods. Okay, these are the methods. Okay, these are the methods, and these are the keywords in terms of keyword driven framework. Give a minute. Yep. So in terms of keyword driven framework, these are the keywords: login, logout, book flight, modify order, delete order. These are the keywords. So our functionality will be breakdown, and will be we will write the methods like this. Okay, so in keyword driven, each and everything will be like that, and generally will not have a data driven approaches in keyword. Okay, will not have kind of data driven scripts in keyword. Keyword means it's purely will be maintained with the keywords like this. I mean methods like this. Okay, modular framework means it depends on the type of the application. Say if you are following a modular framework, like the name itself is saying modular, it means say you have an application. Say for example, just for example, say you are automating Google. So as part of Google, say we have Google search, okay, Gmail, YouTube, okay, say Google images search, some other Google Drive something. Okay, it's Google is a single one. I mean this is the main name. Under this we have some modules, right? Search, Gmail, YouTube, image, Drive. So here in a modular framework, okay, if we have any modules, we'll try to keep the structure of the framework will be the same way. Like Google, like we'll have a main folder. When I say framework means don't get don't imagine a very high level. The framework means just it's a folder structure. It is a folder structure. In that folder structure, we will organize our artifacts. Okay, just a folder structure where we'll organize our artifacts. So say for this modular framework, we'll have a main folder saying Google. Okay, and then probably we'll have these. 1 minute. Yep, these modules. Okay, and apart from this, probably we may have a common module. I mean, if we have anything common with among with this, if we have anything like common for these things, we'll have a common folder. So If you have anything common related to all these modules, you can have a common. Okay, this is a modular framework, but in general we use hybrid framework. Hybrid framework is nothing but it's a combination of other frameworks. Okay, and again, say when I explain the folder structure here, say now we are going to discuss the folder structure of a hybrid framework. Okay, here we'll have different folder structures: test data, functional library. Okay, and what else we can have here? Scripts, and here in our framework we are going to use UI object info. I will explain what is this UI object info. So basically we are going to have 4 main folders. Okay, so whatever the test data that we are going to create will keep under this folder. Okay, function library means whatever the function libraries that we are going to use in our project will be maintained over here. Like for example, as of now we are using Excel read. I can keep this function library over here. Okay, and here as part of scripts there will be like 2 main things. One is business, I can say business business functions or business actions, I can say. Okay, I can say business functions or actions, class file, and a driver. We'll discuss a bit in depth during the class, I mean while we creating the framework. Okay, this is the overall structure that we are going to create a framework. Here in this particular test data we'll keep the test data. Okay, test data Excel file will be maintained over here. Okay, function library, here we are going to keep function library functions that we are going to use in our project. One of the file is Excel read, and in the scripts folder we'll keep business actions. In this file basically we'll keep all the application related what to say, we will keep all the application related methods, like say login, logout, what else we say, create order, like this. All these methods will be maintained over this business actions, and there will be a file called driver. In this driver the entire execution will be enunciated here. Okay, and apart from this there is something called test suite. Okay, test suite, we will prepare something called test suite that we will prepare as part of test data. Okay, test suite means where we will configure all our scenarios. This test suite and driver are interrelated. Probably once while creating the hybrid framework here in Eclipse, we'll probably understand the more details. And UI object info means here this is the folder, this is the file where we'll maintain all of the UI object locators. Okay, it means whatever, say we are automating 5 scenarios, for all the 5 scenarios. Okay, I mean what to say here, say we have 5 scenarios and all the objects which are there in those 5 scenarios will be maintained over here. I mean the locators of all those 5 scenarios will be maintained over here. Probably once we start creating it you will understand this. Okay, yeah, till this point any questions? Now just now you were discussing about what is meant by framework. Here what are the uses of the framework, different types of the frameworks. Okay, what are the types of packages in framework? Actually here if you observe here, I said it has a different types of packages in framework. If you all observe here, I said what are the different types of packages in framework. Basically here I can say it is a folder. Instead of directly saying folder, I'm saying it as package, because I want to give a Java flavor over here. Because now we are going to create a framework here in Java, right? So here in Java, we will not call it as a folder, we will call it as a package. If you remember here, I said here I've been saying folders, right? Test data folder, function library folder, scripts folder, UI object information folder, right? Here I was just giving an overall idea on the hybrid framework. Okay, I did not talk with respect to Java over here. So in terms of Java, we call these as the packages: test data package, function library package, scripts package, UI objects information package. Okay. So these are the different types of packages that we are going to have here in our framework. So let me start creating a project here. How to create a new project? Find new, and of course here I directly have Java project. If you don't see this Java project, go for other and search for Java project. Here I'm giving the name as say BH Southwest. Okay, I'm giving the name as framework, BH Southwest framework. Let me say finish. And what will be the next part? What we have to do over here? We have created a framework. We have created a project, Java project over here. What will be the next step? It's a kind of revision for you. What is the next step? Yep. We have to import the Java Selenium WebDriver files to this project, right? So I'm right clicking. I'm configuring the Selenium WebDriver jar files to this project. It's pure Java project, right? Now we have to configure the Selenium WebDriver files over here. So I'm doing it. Let me close these things just to avoid the confusion. So I'm going to the Java build path, libraries, add external jars. And here this is the folder 2.40. Just you have to add these two. And again go to add external jars, go to this libs, add all these libs files, say OK here. Okay. Now we have created a project, then we have configured the Selenium WebDriver jar files to this project. Okay. Now if you all observe here, as part of the hybrid framework, I'm start creating these packages, test data. Okay. Now here I said in generic words, in general automation, like in terms of automation terminology, I used a general name package. But here in Selenium, here in Java, we call this as a package. Okay, earlier I used it as a folder. Okay, in terms of Java, I'm referring it as a package. So now see here. Now let me create a new package here. Package name is test data. So in this package, I will maintain the test data Excel file here. Okay. Then I'm creating a function. I'm creating a package called function library. Now go to SRC again. Just select the SRC, right click, and say new package function lib. Okay. Now here in this function lib, see here, as I said, function lib means this is a package where we will keep all our function libraries. Function libraries means the Java files are whatever the files that we use across our projects. One of the file, as of now, we are using Excel read. Like this, say you join any company say they might have some 2 or 3 different types of function libraries. So you can keep all those function libraries over here. So now right away let me copy this function library, Excel read here. I'm copying the Excel read. I'm pasting over here as part of function library. And now we have to configure JXL library files too. We did not configure the JXL library file, right? What is the purpose of JXL? What is the purpose of JXL? Here we forget to configure JXL file. But however, what is the purpose of JXL? Here, add external jobs. Okay, let me go back. Yes, for reading the Excel file. Now after that we have scripts. So we'll create a scripts folder. Now here I'm going to create a package scripts here. So can you all agree here it is saying setting build path 96, so it is running in the background here. Somehow it is taking a lot of time.
H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.